What's going on, everybody? Muto here. Welcome to Submission Fishing Live. Glad you guys could make it. Can you guys hear me? How's my volume? I didn't do a mic check today. So let me know if you could hear everything just fine. I'm going to take that as a yes. What's going on, guys? Leonard, Sound Fishing. What's going on, man? Eric, thank you so much for coming. We got Dario. Dario, I'm still laughing about the CCA event. We're going to have to talk about that. Dave Rage, what's going on, my dude? Let's see. Cass Queen. Hey, what's going on? You know what, Cass Queen? I met you out on the water when I think it was like a couple weeks ago. You were out there fishing. I was on that orange kayak that almost got hit by the fishing boat. And Salty was talking to me, and he was like, "Oh, did you see the Cass Queen over there?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was her." But yeah, you were over there fishing for spotties. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something like that. So it's cool meeting you. Thanks for the shout out. Let me know a huge boat was behind me. That really helped me out. Dario, yeah, we got a funny story from the CCA event. We'll have to talk about that. Still want to break that guy's arm for you. Salty, what's going on? Who else we got in here? Jessica, thank you for joining. Nice, guys. Glad you can join. Anyways, let's see. We got any announcements today? Not too much. I got a new video I put out yesterday. We went out bonito fishing on the Grande. It was pretty cool. We went offshore looking for tuna. We never did find them. We ended up having to settle for bonito, which was cool. I mean, these things were huge. So if you want to check that out, it was a really fun time. I'm probably not going to go fishing this weekend, unfortunately. Got my birthday coming up Monday, so my mom's coming down to visit, so that'll be fun. I really wanted to hit La Jolla too. I mean, I've been waiting for that for a long time. So you guys have a good time out there. If you want, anybody wants to join, I'll probably go out Friday. Maybe Friday night. So I guess that's tomorrow. Tomorrow night I might hit the bay. Maybe go see what's going on in the bait barge. Maybe catch some to eat. Looking for some halibut or even sculpin. So I might do that. I might go out later tomorrow. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Mark G, what's going on, man? Captain Dan, my neighbor, Captain Dan, how are you doing? Chad, what's going on? One of my jiu-jitsu buddies right there. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Open mat. You know, we're going to beat each other's asses. Probably going to do 6 5-minute rounds, kill each other. So hopefully you're there. That's always fun. Jesse, what's going on? Jesse's the float tuber. But saw you just got a kayak, dude. Congratulations. That's so awesome. I think that's going to change your fishing life. I mean, you were already killing it out there in the float tube. So I think once you get that kayak dialed in, it'll be awesome. Let's see. Anybody else that I miss? How do I prepare Bermuda? So Salty, what I do, I just do sashimi. I make poke, and I think it's awesome. I mean, I had just this heaping mountain of poke last time, so I just cut it up. Soy sauce, what was that? Toasted sesame oil, some seaweed, cayenne pepper, and then I chop up some onions, either green onions or just regular onions. But dude, it's the bomb. I think if you put it up against ahi, I don't think anybody will be able to tell the difference, to be honest with you. It's really good. I make it for people here, and they love it. My wife loves it. When guests come by, they love it. Sometimes I don't even know. They don't know what it is. Like it's bonito or tuna. Bonito is a tuna, so it's the same thing. I think as long as you get it in quick and cold. What's cool is the Grande, when you catch it, they send it down to like a refrigerated area. They drop it down this little like periscope thing. After you catch it, they like staple the tags on it, and then they keep it cold, which is awesome. It's a lot of times I've been on boats where you throw it in the burlap sack, and then it stays out on the deck for like 12 hours, and you go. I still eat it. I still don't think it's that bad. I know a lot of people talk trash on it, but it's actually really good. Gilling it helps too. So just cut the gills when you first get it. Bleed the fish out. I think that goes for pretty much any fish. Whether you're catching a halibut that you're going to keep, trout in fresh water, get the blood out. And that's a key for all fish to keep fresh and good. No longer the platoon. Yeah, you're not, man. Well, you can still use it. I think you can get it into places. It seems a little more controllable on the pontoon, Jesse. I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to have a little bit of a learning curve with that kayak, but it's definitely worth it. Dave, yeah, Dave, sashimi poke's the bomb. Dario, yes, eat it. It's good. I've had it cooked too. I don't think it's as good cooked. Maybe I just didn't cook it that well. But I've had we went out and the chef actually took some that we caught and he cooked them up on the boat. It was really really good. But I like raw fish. If I can have it raw, I'll eat sashimi any day over cooked fish for sure. Because they do usually the all day boats and then they do the day and a half, so it's the bigger boat, so they keep it cold. And even when you get it, it's like really cold, and then you just put it in ice to drive home. It stays cold the whole time, and that does make a world of difference for sure. The redder the meat, the more important to bleed it out. Yeah, I mean, I think bleed anything out. It just you're there. If you're gonna keep it, just cut the gills and wave it around in the water, let it bleed out. Yeah, definitely. Cave Dog Cal, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, it was nice meeting a lot of you guys. I met Cal. We had Salty out there, Mark G, Dario. This was at the CCA event. I got to see Captain Dan with his pizza shirt on, with the pineapple, ham and pineapple, best pizza on the planet. He knows he was representing. Got to see Roman. Brian likes to fish. It was pretty cool. Got to shake everybody's hand like 53 times. What happened was I went there, then we sat at the table and I was leaving, gave the handshake, and then I left, and then the other group was like further down at the end. It was like Dario, Salty, they were getting all turned up on the little can liquors. Leonard was over there. So I ended up talking to them for like 30 minutes. And then the other crew, Stingray, Mark G, Eric, everybody came over, Dave. And then it turned into one big group again. So then everybody started talking again for like 15 minutes. Then I made the round, shook everybody's hand again before I left. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Captain Dan, the coolest shirt until I saw the pineapple. Man, you guys. Pineapple on pizza is where it's at. You guys know that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll go over a little bit kind of how Spotty Bowl went and something that I found, or some tips I can give you guys, and a couple things that I changed. I actually did some big changes for Spotty Bowl. I ended up getting third place, but I only fished till 4, so I didn't fish that late. I wanted to get out and go to the CCA event, so I didn't stick around. I probably could have stayed out there for 8, another 4 hours, maybe got some more. And one of those weird things happened where I swear I had 5 legals. I was counting it in my head, like I knew which fish I caught. When I went in my car, I couldn't find the picture. I had no picture of the 5th legal. I know I had 2 14s, so I had a 16, 2 15s. I had like a 14 and a quarter, and I could not find the other 14. So I don't know, what do they call that? Like Stockholm syndrome or something, or revisionist history. I swear I had the 4. I counted it because I had the 4, and when I got my last legal, I was like, yes, that's a bag. So I don't know. I think the picture honestly didn't save. I don't know if my fingers were wet and like it didn't record or something. So that kind of sucked. Like maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I didn't have the 5, but I probably would have stayed if I didn't know I had the 5. But a couple of things that I did was I actually switched to monofilament instead of fluorocarbon. And you guys, that stuff is awesome. Monofilament's like this old technology, and I always just use fluoro thinking, it was like the best thing since sliced bread. It's like, oh, it's the new thing. And you use it for clarity, right? For vision. But I got to thinking, actually heard some podcasts, like the Salt Strong podcast. I never listened to it before. And for some reason, I saw it on Spotify. I was working out, and I heard this one on mono versus fluoro. And they convinced me to try mono. And they were showing how the strength test, the abrasion was so much better on mono. The knot strength was better. Fluoro obviously has the better light refraction, and it's thinner. So I got to thinking, if I'm doing vertical fishing where I'm looking for a reaction bite, a reaction bite is where the fish sees it and they go after it. It's not like finesse fishing where, you're putting a Ned rig or a drop shot and you're really trying to tease the fish to getting it to bite. With the reaction bite, I'm putting these vertical slow pitch lures on, these little micro jigs. sending them to flutter down and then trying to get the bite instantly. So one of the problems I was having, when the fish bites and it turns around on that thing, it gets twisted up, especially with these little slow pitch jigs because they bite and you don't know they're on. A lot of times they make a run for it and they go around the pilings, or they get twisted, or they just twist themselves in the line, and all their gill plates and everything cut these lines up. I can't tell you how many times I pull up the fluoro and the line's nicked up and chipped, and it's like I lose fish on them because they snap off, and I know because I pull it out and it's just frayed and beat up. So I tried the mono. I was like, you know what? I don't think I need the color. Actually, I know I don't, because I've caught them on straight braid before, and I've done steel leaders with the little slow pitch jig. So I put mono on. You guys, this stuff was awesome. Like, it's amazing how when I pulled this stuff up, like, it wasn't frayed at all. There was no, fluorocarbon gets like that string cheese effect on it, and it's so much less brittle. Like, it's a little more springy, but I think it really helped me out Saturday. I know I shouldn't try new things during tournament day, but it was awesome. I mean, so if you're doing reaction fishing, try out mono. Don't sleep on it. The strength of that stuff was awesome. Every time I pulled up the line, it was like pristine. It didn't have the same nicks in it, the same cuts. It wasn't peeling like the string cheese. It wasn't brittle. I never had to change the mono leader at all. And I wasn't scared that it was going to break. It stayed strong. Like, it stretched. It was, I think it worked out. And I think I'm going to stay with mono leaders for reaction bite stuff, where I'm not really worried about putting a presentation in front of them for a long time. Something that I can just throw out there and I think they're going to bite instantly. I think I'll switch to mono. You can even lower the mono strength. So if you have fluorocarbon that's 20 pounds and you go 15-pound mono, or say 15-pound fluoro and go 10-pound mono, it still has a better abrasion resistance and knot strength than the fluoro does. And then you get the same diameter. So if you're worried about, that much little bit of an advantage, I don't know. I think for Ned rig, drop shot, stuff like that, stick with the fluoro. Absolutely. Because you want that light refraction. You want that thing. Yeah. Cave Dog, dude, mono. Sure. I got the smoke color. Like, was it the ISO line or something like that? Yeah. I got like thousands of yards of that thing, and it was like $16. Way cheaper than the fluorocarbon too. The fluoro breaks your heart sometimes when you got to cut it. You're like, little roll, right? 25 yards of it is like $16 or something crazy. So try the mono, guys. I mean, it worked for me. So I think give it a shot. See if we got any questions out here. Yeah, like Dave, for something's line side for sure. I think top water, where you got a bait swimming out there, I think fluoro for sure. Anything where they're like following it and looking at it, I think the fluoro is probably the way to go. But when you're doing like a flutter jig or something where they're just kind of reacting to it, I don't know if they're worried about the line so much, to be honest with you. And it was nice not having that having the break off and the fray problems. I think that was really awesome. Yeah, Cal Berkeley. The Trailene's always available. Big Five for Walmart. Sure. Yeah, you can get that stuff anywhere. Jesse said he had nice fish, bust me off. The line was all frayed at the end. Man, it started to become a problem for sure. I believe they twist up on it, or the pilings. Just their little quills they'll cut that thing off, man. If you don't get them in. I think when you're pulling something and they bite it doesn't matter because you're just yanking them straight. But anytime you're using like those flutter jigs, a lot of times they bite it, and I don't know I'm bit until I start to reel it up. And I think by then they've already, how many times have you pulled one up on these slow pitch jigs and the hooks are in the side, they got one in their mouth, they got one in their neck, and they just spin around on that thing and they chew that line up and break it off. It's just something to think about. I mean, I never, mono's just kind of old technology, but give it a shot. I mean, I think it's definitely worth looking into. And then secondly, it was a really slow day out there. Really, really, really slow day. I think everybody can attest. Friday was slow. Saturday was really pretty bad too. It was out in Mission Bay. And then Sunday, I don't know how Sunday was. I don't think people fared much better. I know Dave, Fish Perfect, he ended up getting second place, but Brian fished Friday, and then he ended up winning. So I think Saturday was rough. I think Saturday was the roughest day, to be honest with you. But one of the things I did was I stuck with the slow pitch the whole time and these little jigs, but I switched over to these things, just these little baby 10 ouncers. 20, I wasn't getting bit. 30s, I wasn't getting bit. And this is about 20 feet of water too at the docks over there. I just couldn't get it. I don't think I got a single bite on the 20 gram or anything larger. Once I switched and went down to the 15 and the 10s, these 10s were killing it. And what's crazy was, you always hear the old adage that the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. I caught a 15, a 16 and a quarter, another 15. All the huge fish I was getting were on these little teeny tiny 10-ounce lures. So I think downsizing was the key. It was crazy. I was thinking, for some reason, if I throw the big one, I think the smallest fish I caught was on the bigger, like the biggest lure that I threw. It was like a little baby. I think maybe I did get one on like a 30 ounce, and it was like a 8-inch fish or something like that. It just doesn't make sense how these giant fish were going after little tiny baits, and the little dink fish were going after these huge things. And then secondly, I changed up my technique. So I didn't use the bait casters. Like my first 2 videos that I ever made are about pitching those, 30, 40, 20 grams on a bait caster, but I switched over to show you guys my secret weapon. This little guy. I mean, this thing's tiny. This is a 1,000 size spinning reel. And the key with this, when I'm throwing these 10s and 15s, the bait casters, they don't keep up. The line doesn't come off the spool fast enough. They sit there and they drop it. At least for me, it just doesn't work. But what I do is I put the Berkley, was it the X9 or the 9X or something like that on the line, so it really comes off the bail. And this thing is tiny, and that's the key. So when I've got a super light rod and I've got this little tiny reel with the really light line, those things were just fluttering like crazy. But the best thing about this little tiny reel, so you get the small presentation, you get the line that's able to come off, but this thing has a 9-pound drag, which is freaking ridiculous for the size of this. Most little tiny rods for a 1,000 size reel, usually they're like 5 pounds. I've seen maybe a 7-pound, but 9 pounds of drag on this thing. So even though I'm throwing these little 10 grams, I mean, I was pulling these 16 inchers. It was no problem on that thing. So I think I'll do a video on that. My next video I did was the spotty bowl, and this reel is primarily what I fished. I was fishing the bait casters, but I wasn't getting bit with the 20 grams and stuff like that. So you'll see this in my next video, and I'll probably go over it how I fished this one. So some of you guys were asking about slow pitching on a spinning reel. That's what I did it with. So I got 3rd place with it. Didn't win, but he said I only fished till 4 o'clock. And I was getting some hogs. They came later in the day, and I saw Leonard out there, and we were both struggling, man. And I wonder why. So I was fishing the 20s, fishing the 30s. I kept fishing the heavy stuff, but once I switched to these little micro things, that's when the bite came. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they stayed in the strike zone a little longer, possibly. I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to put the effort out for a bigger bait, and they just figured they go for the smaller one. But yeah, throw these little small jigs. You're definitely going to need a light setup. So I'll go over that one in my next video. Give you guys some tips on that thing. But man, it was working. It was awesome. Super fun. Got the reels and lures. Got any questions in here? What are they saying?
Dave wants to know who caught more, you or me.
Dave had a question. Let's see. It got Jessica's over here helping me. So I know last time I missed like a ton of the questions. So going up here to check them out. Who caught more on the Grande? You or Jessica? Jessica caught more than I did. I had 3. She had 4. A lot of driving around, man. We were looking. It was a rough day. We were looking for fish back and forth, but Jessica's a slayer, man. She gets on those fish. She's like the Bonito Queen. That's her thing. She gets that live bait out there, and she gets it done. Remember one time we went out there, and limited on bonito in like 10 minutes or something like that.
It was 5 for 5.
She
I'll
was
let you know.
5 for 5 on the bonito. I gave her the handicap. I mean, I started switching to the irons, and
Oh, shush.
I was trying a lot of different stuff. I caught a few on the live bait, and then I went for the irons. I got my iron bite. I was throwing other crocodiles. I like mixing it up a little bit, but
Shout out to your mom.
the live bait was on there too.
Your mom's out watching.
Let's see some of those. Get some of those Boca bearings. So salty, yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to see if they make them for that. I don't know if you guys saw my bait caster was filled. So that was one of the reasons too. You're bringing up the Boca bearings. That's cool. What he's talking about is actually changing the bearings in the bait caster to some upgrading bearings. So what you want is the line coming off that spool as quickly as possible. And one of the things I use a Komodo, was that Akuma Komodo, I think it was like the 273 or something. And that thing's been money for me. It's solid. I've been using it all year and I haven't cleaned it. So I was using it Saturday and it did not feel right. And that could have been the problem with the 20-30 gram. I'm like, the spool wasn't coming off. I wasn't getting that, when the line comes out and it spins out. I wasn't getting that. It didn't feel right. I've been doing this, I don't want to say long enough, but I've been doing this enough to where I got that feel down and it was not working. And I was like, man, I don't know. And I knew something was up with the reel. And I opened it today. If you guys go look at the Discord, man, this thing was filthy. It was like, it had the scale growing on it. It was like the salt crystal. I honestly think I've dunked that rod twice too this year and I haven't cleaned it. But I got the before and after pictures. I put that thing in vinegar. Man, like magic. That thing is sparkles like new. So vinegar's the way to go. If you guys want to descale metal, put it in vinegar. Stuff's biodegradable. It's not harsh on your skin or anything. So it's awesome. And it cleans that stuff up. Just set it in there for maybe 20 minutes, go do something, come back, and then just wipe it off or rinse it off. And I tested it today and it was like a brand new reel. So that was part of my problem with the bait caster and why I had to switch to the spinning. Jean Marie Muto in the house. Shout out to my mom. She's in here up in Lake Gregory. Hi, Mom. See you Saturday. Maybe we'll go fishing. Take you out on the kayak. Show you the road. So I went up to Lake Gregory. Yeah, I fish up there too. I caught a nice lightning trout. Some super light stuff. I think I had 2-pound test. I always carry like a little travel rod with me. If you guys are into lake fishing, I'm certainly not the master at lake fishing, but got on some fish up there, so that was certainly cool. My wife gets bigger fish in our family, but I get a lot more. Yeah, it's either one or the other. Jessica won the pot. I've never won. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. She won the pot too. Got a big old, I think it was a calico, big old pregnant calico. So she won the pot. I don't think I've ever won the pot on a boat. It's tough. Fishy down there. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. Your reel will smell like salad. That's right, Cal. We're pulling up that seaweed for the vegans. Chad, I just go straight vinegar. I don't dilute it at all. I mean, I just dumped it in straight. I have to get you a link to the Discord. For the Discord, guys, go to, I forgot, good thing you reminded me about this, but check out Fishy Hour. They're the whole reason I started this show. Fishy Hour was, Roman does it. He was the live fishing show he did during COVID. That's how this whole thing started. And he was doing 5 days a week, keeping everybody entertained. I think that's how I found out about him. I ended up getting a kayak, and that's how I found him. I was looking at how to kayak fishing videos like everybody else during the pandemic, when nothing to do. I bought the Hobie. I found him. He was doing a show 5 days a week, and it was crazy when there was no fishing allowed. And then it opened up, and we all started fishing together, and then he went to 3 days a week. So Fishy Hours, his YouTube channel, go check it out. So he went to 1 day a week. It was just him and Brian. Brian likes to fish. I don't know if he's on here, but they do a fishing show, Bay Fishing Wednesdays. But he went down to one show, and that's where, I used to send everybody there. So then this show was born because I know everybody. I like to bring everybody in and just have a little community of fishing and stuff. We used to look forward to it, 3 days a week, going and checking out the fishing. It was pretty awesome. And then he went down to 1 week. Now he's 2 days a week. So he's back to Monday. He's taking the Mondays and then Wednesdays. So then I'll do Thursdays for now. And then at least we get our 3 days. So, I'm only here because they were on. He inspired me to do it just based on watching his show, and then I wanted to give everybody else in the fishing community here in San Diego something else to watch. So check that out. He's on Mondays and Wednesdays. Fishy Hour on YouTube. Go check it out. Subscribe. I know he's trying to get his subscriber count up, but it's a great show. Ton of knowledge. I mean, you guys, especially when Brian's on there on Wednesdays, man. I mean, this guy, if you don't know him, Brian likes to fish on Instagram. I mean, he fishes tournaments, saltwater, freshwater, but he's a killer. In the Spotty Bowl tournament that we're doing, he's currently in first place. I mean, he wins it all the time. He won first place last time. When I won first place last week, I tied with him, me and Leonard. So we couldn't even beat him. The best we could do was tie. You know, Salty's beat him a couple times, but I mean, you want to talk bay fishing? I mean, that guy's he's got all the knowledge in the world. So check them out on Wednesdays. And Roman does the one-man band on Mondays, which is it's pretty cool. So check that out for sure.
Any other question about Jakara's?
Catch up on the chat here. Which
Sound
one?
fishing, blue or silver? Blue, silver, or red gold Jakara catch more? Do you get bit more on blue, silver, or red gold?
Who is that? Is that up?
Sound fishing.
Sorry, guys, I'm looking through the chat.
Hands up a little bit.
Sound fishing. Do you get bit more on the blue silver or the red gold? Blue silver, I think. On this one, like when it's hot, it's hot, but a lot of times it's dead. You'll get bit. I don't know if colors as important, but I'll show you guys kind of my go-to. Got the double chin going. Yeah. This one, the zebra. This is probably my default lure. You can get these in any color. I've probably caught more fish on this color than anything. Saturday, it wasn't the case. I actually caught one on a pink zebra. I couldn't catch anything on the white and blue. Typically, all year I've been slaying it on that zebra color. And the Iwashi is classic too. Almost hooked myself. This is the Iwashi. I think that means sardine in Japanese, or anchovy or something like that. But yeah, these ones are good. The red and gold get bit. I think when they're hungry, they'll eat anything. You can go with the red. I cut them on the yellow. But the most luck I had Saturday was on the silver. I don't know if I have it here, but it was a smaller version of this one. The black and silver was the color. And then my secret weapon, I'm going to tell you guys, is the glow color. The glow in the dark, it's like white colored. For whatever reason, when the bite's slow and I throw that thing on, it just destroys. When the bite's hot, I don't think they want it, which is really weird. Doesn't make any sense. But when they're not biting, either the silver or the glow seems to be the color. Red, when it's hot, but I think the zebra. Go blue and white zebra for sure. I think is pretty good.
Flying jig versus Jakara.
Who was asking that?
Saltwater Slayer.
Saltwater Slayer. I'm informed you have a question.
Think the flying jig will work, or should I just get the Jakara?
I'm looking for I'm gonna find your question, Saltwater Slayer. Was it up further or down?
No, it's down.
Oh, there you go. Question: do you think the P-line jig will work, or should I get the jig para? I don't know. I haven't fished the P-line jig. I would get the jig para just because I know. I mean, they're proven, they work. I crush it on those things. P-line, I'm sure you'll get bit as long as it has the same thing. What you're looking for, if you're doing the vertical fishing, is you want an asymmetrical body, and what that means is one end. So they're not even. Basically, one end is flat, and one end has a pyramid shape. So you see that how this end is flat, and this end is It actually comes to a point shaped like a pyramid. What you don't want is a jig that's equal on both sides, as it doesn't have the same fluttering action. The asymmetrical body is where you get the twist, you get the fall and the wave, and it falls like a leaf. The ones that have symmetry, they kind of just go down. It's a different motion. Those are usually for like barracuda, topwater fish, stuff like that. Like the Colt Sniper. Colt Sniper might be asymmetrical, but usually those are like, you get them, they flutter a little bit on the fall, but then as you retrieve, those are more for getting bit on the retrieve. They swim instead of flutter on the way down. So as long as the P line has the asymmetrical body, I think you'll be okay. I know these Jig Para, they almost all have that. That's like their kind of their claim to fame, but look for that. So don't go for a symmetrical body. Look for the asymmetrical body so you get the dying bait fish action. If you're looking for mackerel or bonito out in the bays or even the barracuda, yeah, throw the P line, throw those jigs. It really doesn't matter so much. They'll come up and get it because they're usually getting it on the retrieve anyways. So I mean, that's my advice. Chad, that's why you're here. You got to learn saltwater. Yeah, man, you got to come out with us. Definitely. We either got to set up like we'll do like a charter boat, get everybody on there, or just come out and shore fish with us. I know a lot of people got some spare kayaks too, so we'd love to get you out there in the water, get you on some bass, or if you're looking for food, we could probably go get some halibuts or use some barred sand bass or something like that. So definitely let me know. We should just all rent like a huge boat together. I think that'd be freaking awesome. I know we've been talking about it, but it's just a matter of time before we set it all up. I'm going out Monday, going out for my birthday Monday, so that should be pretty cool. It's probably already full. I know. I put that out to you guys Monday, but check it out. Let me catch up on the chat here. Cave Dog, Captain Noah. Zach's in the house. Welcome, Zach. Glad you can make it. Captain Adobo, you're a sticker hoe. I need that submission fishing sticker. I'll get you some. I just got a new logo made, so I'll definitely get some stickers going. That'd be awesome. You one of those guys with like, I know Cal's like that, where there's so many stickers it almost looks like camo, or like those old 70s vans, the hippie vans with the 50,000 stickers on it. That's cool. I'm amazed. I'm honestly amazed a lot of these stickers like stay on in the saltwater and everything. It's like, so they look like brand new. I'm like, how's that even possible? I'm scared to put the stickers on because I think they're going to like fall apart. Roman swears like the ones he has, the fishy hour ones, like the little mackerel one in the back, the shiny ones are made for water. So I see them on your guys' kayaks too, and they seem to last. So I'm actually pretty impressed. I just think they're going to get wrecked, but he gave me an extra pair. So I'm definitely going to put those in my kayak for sure. Cal, pink or blue zebra stripe works for me. Yeah. I think it's the contrast. I know I've talked with Salty Dangerly about that too. I think it's I had this one that was half purple, half glow. I've had it twice and I lose it in like the first 3 casts, which kind of sucks, but I get bit on that one too. So I don't know if it's, I think it's the contrast when they see that white blue or the white color, the glow color. I think that's the key for sure. Or anything works. Like during a busy day, you send it, they'll get it. Yeah, Iwashi means anchovy in Japanese. That's what I thought. Yeah, that color works. The Iwashi, any of the Iwashis, I mean, they've got like the candy Iwashi, the green Iwashi. I don't think you can go wrong with that. It's kind of like the tried and true. The colors too, what do they say? I mean, a lot of people say the colors are designed to catch fishermen, not fish. That's probably true. Sometimes I get colors that I like. Right? You think you're going to catch fish out of. Remember we did the test. It was earlier last year. We did that science experiment where everybody was fishing different color soft plastics. We were trying orange, pink. I think we came to the general consensus that color really didn't matter that much. I don't think. It's a confidence thing. Fish with what you think works. If you're confident with a color, that's the key. It's almost like you will it into existence, right? When something works, you keep doing it and it keeps working, and then sometimes you switch and it shakes your confidence. And I don't know, it's not really the color, but I think it's how you perceive it. And then you start fishing differently because it's a different color. So get what's comfortable. I'll pretty much fish everything. I don't mind too much. I just like fishing. I like seeing if I can catch stuff on different colors. Like if I'm bored, usually I can. Zach Riggs, what's up, man? We already got you. Looking for that collaboration on a video. Good ideas you guys had. Good idea you had. We'll look into that later. Chad, I've always just tried to use contrasting colors, especially for bass. Something that stands out. But you're right, if they're hungry, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, I think contrasting colors, yeah, for sure. I mean, the saltwater bass that we fish, Chad, I know you said you're a freshwater guy. Pretty much all that freshwater stuff works for the saltwater bass. At least the stuff that goes to the bottom, they live on the bottom. They don't come up too much, but you can take a lot of that saltwater stuff. I mean, like the Ned rig, the drop shot, those are all really freshwater techniques, but they slay in the bays. They'll catch, they react a lot of the same. They have a lot of the same tendencies. So if you can fish freshwater bass, you can catch saltwater bass. 100%. I'm confident in that. Eric's nice to meet us work together. Yeah. That's all we do. We sit next to each other 12 hours a day. We have the office here at home, and then we have the office that we just bought in Vista. We share the office there. We share an office here. Go out on the boats together, but it's cool. That's why I kayak so long. That's why I go out for 18-hour days. Just kidding. It's called a keel. What's a keel, Cave Dog?
You talk about the pyramid shape.
Oh, the pyramid shape? Is that what that means? I just see on the back of the package says asymmetrical. But that's interesting terminology. Happy birthday. Thank you, man. Oh, your birthday's Sunday. Man, so many people born in June. It's crazy.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day. It's coming up. I totally forgot about that. So
Sound Fishing had a question about what you tie onto the jig paras, directly or onto the O-ring.
Who's that? Sound Fishing. Do I tie it on directly to the O-ring? So if you're going to tie directly on, tie onto this second. I mean the first. Tie onto this first split ring. See how you've got the nose, then you got the first split ring, and then the second split ring. Tie onto that middle split ring. Some of them don't have the two split rings, like this one, and I tie directly onto the nose right here, or clip it. So this one onto the nose. If it's got the two split rings, tie it onto the middle split ring. That's how I do it. I think that's how you're supposed to do it, but it works for me. So that's what I do for sure.
Eric, the real reason I created Spotty Bowl to give the men a break.
Real reason I created Spotty Bowl was to give the men a break. Good job, Eric. Man, solid. Holding it down for all the men out there. But what happens when the women start joining Spotty Bowl? What happens when all the wives start invading and fishing? Then you're going to have to come up with something new. We should have a men versus women's tournament. Remember we did that one tournament for the CCA earlier this year? And some lady won that one. She caught we were right next to her, big old sand bass over in the bait bars. But they can fish. That's the cool thing about fishing, man. Fishing don't care about gender. It's like there's no advantage. I mean, women go out there and slay too, man. That's what's awesome. It's like the men thing. It's a men's sport. Like men tend to like fishing more, but man, it's like there's no perceivable difference. We'll probably get smashed on. So maybe we don't want that. Sound Fishing, thanks, man. Thanks for the shout out. Jessica getting the shout outs there. They fish on a separate day. Yeah, if they don't know how to read the tide charts, we'll take the good days and send them out. I don't know about the tide charts though, man. It's me and Leonard were talking about that. You know, I go on tides for fishing, but I think the tide chart is good when when you're looking for the tides, but a lot of the activity, they say it's like high activity, low activity. They base that off like the solar lunar calendar when it's going to be good, but I haven't seen any correlation with that. I've gone out there where days where it's like, oh, activity is high. It's got like the 3 fish icons on the thing where you're just supposed to crush it. And it's like, you just have the crappy stay fishing. That's what it was Saturday. It was saying how all the sites you go on was like, oh, the fishing's good, the activity's good. Then I've been on days where it's like, it says the activity's low, soul lunar's bad, it's bad. And then you go out there and crush it. I think the tides and water conditions in salt water are so much more important. I think the soul lunar works in, this is just my opinion. I'm not an expert on this, but I think the soul lunar is more important for freshwater. You know, you don't have a tide, you don't have as much water change. The eating habits, I think, are different because they're not eating with a tide. In freshwater, it's like sunrise, sunset, atmospheric pressure, or probably the sun or the sun and the moon correlate. But I think saltwater is like, it's all about the tide coming in, the tide going out. And then the water switches so much too. When I was out there Saturday, that water was so green that I hadn't seen before. And then there was new growth, and like moss was growing on the docks too, which was causing a problem. So the water changed definitely drastically from the last time we were out there. That's why we had to switch it up. But the whole fish activity thing that they always post, it's like, don't count on that too much, guys. So that's just get out there and fish. If you're looking at a lot of these sites and they're telling you it's poor activity, I mean, just go for it. Go out and fish. I don't rely on that stuff. From what I've seen, it doesn't have any correlation. There's some ladies kill it out there on the sport boats. Dude, Dave, it's true. It's true. Look at Cass Queen. I mean, she's out there. My man says I fish way too much. See, she's out there. Who is it? Is that other Spotty girl used to come in too on Fishy Hour. Haven't seen her around, but yeah. I mean, they crush it, man. I mean, every time Jessica goes out, we went out deep sea fishing. Our last trip last year, I think I caught 3 Dorado. And we limited on the skipjack. She got just so many skipjacks she limited. And she caught all the yellowfin, all the ahi. I think she caught, how many did you get?
2 or 3.
She got like 2 or 3. And I caught the Dorado. It was crazy. We caught 2 totally different fish. We were on the same areas, the same boats, using the same bait. But it was cool because we got 2 different kinds of fish to bring home. We still got some in the freezer. But yeah. Jesse, you got a question. Let's see here. Oh, Eric says, if you look good in a bikini, I would do it. If I look good, just do it, man. Bust out the banana hammock, fluorescent green. Just tell everybody you're from Europe. Put the Crocs on. Nobody will even ask questions. It'd be awesome, man. Nobody would come near you. You just fish by yourself all day. Nobody even ask you questions. That's how you get left alone. Everybody will just think you're like a European tourist out here fishing. Jesse, have you found any difference between the ones with the treble hooks on the bottom and the ones with the stinger, or only the ones with 3 stinger? So Jesse, that's a great question. I think all the small ones come with the treble hooks, and I've taken them all off and just gone with the single assist hook on the back. These ones always come with the treble hook. The treble hook is good. It'll catch fish. Absolutely. The problem is, for me, I'm always fishing these near the docks, and they always get snagged. Because there's like the ropes. The single hooks don't get caught nearly as much, like on the ropes. There's always like a shopping cart down there, right? There's something stupid. There's like a shopping cart, or there's like the ropes. There's other fishing line. The treble hook, or even when you get like stuck on the mussels and stuff on the side of on the pilings, dude, the treble hook digs into those things, and I cannot get it out. So especially if you're using like a thinner leader, you end up just snapping the leader, having to pull it off. But when you go with the single assist hook, they still get stuck, but I think like 80% less. I lose way less jigs. This is something I'm starting to figure out, because I used to just keep them and keep the treble hook. As far as fish goes, I don't think there's a difference. I don't think I'm losing fish with the stinger hook on the back. So whenever I buy them from like Major Craft, I get a pack of the little treble hooks too, and you can get like the rear hooks, so they're a little shorter and they're built differently. But yeah, I took all the treble hooks off because I was just losing too many. So yeah, I do that. As far as fish go, I think they're good. They're still going to catch fish on the treble hook, but I think these little assist hooks work too. So I would switch to assist hooks. If you want to save money, switch to the assist hooks. I found that out the hard way, because a lot of times when I would pull them back, like that treble hook, and there'd be like that whole cluster of oysters on there, or not oysters or mussels. I pulled up a lobster pot over in, or was that Tidelands? A whole friggin' lobster pot, and I still have it in the back. This thing was like 20 pounds, and it took me like 15 minutes to reel up. I just went super slow, and then finally I got it, and it was just wrapped around with the treble hooks. Because the semi-longs, even those really long ones, they have treble hooks too. I just take those off. So catching fish, both good. Treble hooks good for the fish too. Yeah. Jessica showing the love to Cast Queen. Yeah, Cast Queen, I see you all over. Where is it? On Instagram, yeah. Or not, is it Instagram? I think it's the Spotty, that Spotty page on Facebook. I think you're active on there a lot. I know Aaron's on there, Aaron Kruger from DFA. You guys are always blowing that up, so that's cool. Let's see if we got any more questions.
Different techniques for San Diego Bay versus Mission Bay.
You think different techniques work better for San Diego Bay versus Mission Bay? I've done better with the underspin in Mission Bay and better with the A-rig in San Diego Bay. Ned rig. Ned and slow pitch seem to work well in both. Thoughts? I think they both work. I think it's the day. I don't think it's the bay so much. Other people might disagree. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Chime in on that. I think it's the day because sometimes you go to San Diego Bay and one thing works one day and then it doesn't work. One week it's working, next week it's working. Same thing in Mission Bay. So I don't know if it's a certain technique in a certain bay. I think it's a certain technique on a certain day. As they change. Sometimes they want something that sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want a different color. Sometimes they want a slow pitch. Sometimes they want a Ned rig. You ever been those days where you fish a Ned rig for like 4 hours and you don't catch a bite? Then you throw the A rig on and it's just like they're hopping in the boat. You know, you can't keep them off, or vice versa. So then next week, you know, you fish the A rig and it's like you're catching everything on the A rig, and now you can't catch anything. And then the second you throw a Ned rig out there or slow pitch jig, it's like you're getting bit. So and try everything out. I think it's smart though to keep changing when you're not getting bit. Yeah, man, switch it up and try different things. So from my experience, I haven't had that experience, Zach, if that's what you're asking. I fish the same thing in Mission Bay as I do in San Diego Bay. I get the same results. I'm just fishing these things mostly. I've been fishing these mostly and then switching up the colors and sizes on these to get the different kind of fall and look. But yeah, that's been the difference for me. Leonard, Zach, I do the same on the A-rig in both bays. Yeah, like Leonard said, it's the same in both. I mean, they're the same fish. I don't think it's the same kind of water conditions too. They're just living in different areas, I think. A little bit bigger fish. I think they're harder to catch in Mission Bay. I think because they're bigger and older and smarter. So that's why it's so there might be something to that too. I do believe that. I think the Mission Bay fish are bigger, which would make them older, which means they've probably been stung before. So that's probably why certain baits work better there. And so there is something to that for sure. Like you can go to Tidelands, just throw anything out and you catch those little like 8 inchers all freaking day and they'll bite anything because I don't think they know any better. But yeah, you get those old wise fish, man. Those 14 years old that have seen everything. They're a lot harder to catch for sure. So I think if you're throwing, me and Salty talked about this too, where we're changing up, try to throw something that they haven't seen before. You know, if they've been stung and pulled up by a Ned rig or an underspin a bunch of times, there's a good chance they're not going to fall for it again. I mean, they've seen that. And they probably, last time I bit that thing, I got pulled into some parallel universe above the water and had some weird creature looking at me and put me on a board and then threw me back in the water. They're probably not going to bite it again. So switch it up. I think that's why some of this vertical fishing is doing so well. It's not something that has been seen out here. And then we were talking about that with Brian on Saturday. We're like, man, we got to pump the brakes on this because Mission Bay was so slow because everybody's fishing these vertical jigs now and just killing these things. I think now they're getting wise to it, right? They're like, I've been hit by that thing. I'm not biting that again. So switch it up. Try different stuff. I think that's why some of the weird stuff pays off sometimes. I made the switch to single hooks a long time ago. The reason was because I hooked myself in the finger barb all the way when hooking a spotty. Saltwater Slayer. Yeah, man, that's another thing. I mean, treble hooks, they get everywhere. I mean, you reach over to grab your rod and it gets hooked into your jacket or your pants. So there's that too. That's another good reason to go to the single hook. I fish the same lures in both bays. Having a weedless setup is nice. So yeah, Jesse's doing both. Saltwater Slayer. What is a good weight for the jig para? Saltwater Slayer. I do the weight based on the depth. So if the bays are like Quivira Basin, if it's 20 feet, I try to match the footage or less. So if it's 20 feet, I'm not going to throw anything heavier than a 20. If it's 30 feet, I might go with 30. If it's 40 feet, I'll probably go 40. So rule of thumb is kind of match the footage with the gram of the weight. But you could also go lighter, like in the 20. So it was about 20 feet, 23 feet in Mission Bay. And I was throwing the 10 and 15 grams. So if there's not a lot of wind and current, it'll still get down there. Ideally, you want to be in that strike zone for as long as possible. So when it's fluttering down, I think that's the key. So don't throw a 40. If you're in 15 feet of water, don't throw a 40 gram, because I think the thing is just going to hit so fast. It's just going to kind of go by. Give them an opportunity to kind of see it. So like if I'm at what is it? The bait barge, where it's like 40. I throw a 40 gram semi-long, 40 gram all day, and just smashes on those things. So many calicos and barred sand bass I get on that, and it's about 40 feet of water. So I throw the 40. You want it to be heavy enough to where it's going to get down, where it's not pulled by the current, and but they get a good look at it too. If it's 40, even though it's probably falling faster in the deeper water, they're going to see it before and then catch it as it comes down. So that's a good rule of thumb. I mean, I kind of like to go as light as I can get away with, but match the depth to the jig. So 20 feet, throw a 20 gram, 15 feet, throw a 15 gram, 10 feet, throw a 10 gram. And I think you can adjust from there, try different things, play with it, but I think it's a good rule of thumb. That's been working for me lately. Since I started doing this thing, if I'm out deep in tidelands where it's 50 feet, I'll throw a 40 or 50 gram for sure. Yeah, like I've never thrown like a 10 gram in 50 feet of water. I don't think it'll hit the bottom. You'll probably get too much current. It's not going to do its thing. So if you're too light and it's too deep, you want it to flutter, the current's going to take it, and it's not going to do anything for you. So if you can get away with light, go with light, but also heavy enough in deeper water. Leonard, I think most of my legals for Spotty Bull came from San Diego Bay. Yeah. The day that I had my 5 battle legals was San Diego Bay, definitely. And then Mission Bay, I thought I had my 5. I don't know what happened. To be honest with you, maybe I'm just crazy. But I rolled it up early too. I think I definitely could have got another legal had I stayed out there. I mean, I had another 4 hours to fish, but I wanted to go hang out with everybody at CCA. So
The story about breaking somebody's arm
I was happy with the 3rd.
earlier. You said it was a funny story.
Oh yeah, the CCA. So we went to the CCA, and then you guys know what that is. I think it's the California Coastal Conservation Association. They do a lot of good stuff for fishing. So if you guys aren't a member of that, definitely sign up for that. They protect our rights. They fight for things like against the AB 3030, where they're trying to take 30% of the land, from private individuals, and government's trying to make it so you can't use it, hunt it, all that stuff. So they do a lot of good work fighting that stuff. They plant halibut in Mission Bay, all that good stuff. So anyways, we went, and Dario was there. He got away from his kids. He just had a newborn. So congratulations to Dario. And they had like the silent auction going on. And I think one ended at 6 p.m. or something. And I don't know if it was 6 or it was like 5:55. Somebody went, and then Dario put in a bid for this rod. Or I don't know if it was a rod or so. I think it was like a setup or something like that. And the guy, he took the thing, and then there was a guy right behind him. And I think it was like after 6. And then, so this guy then did like an auction. And then Dario was like, oh, well, what's the big deal? I'm just going to go then put in another bid. And then the guy behind the counter was like, oh no, that's it. That's the end. And just gave the other guy the winning thing, which doesn't make sense. For one, it's like, it's a charity event, right? We're raising money for CCA, and they cut it off and gave this guy the other thing. And it's like, well, for one, don't you want more money for like the donations? and they cut it off, and it was like that kind of sucked. Dario was all pissed off, and I told him I was gonna go put a Kimura on that dude and break his shoulder. We couldn't find him though. He got away. Next time, if we see you, MMFC's coming down. But that was funny. He kept thinking about it, like going, like, man, I can't believe that guy. That was pretty funny. Yeah, it was a fun time, definitely. Portuguese Hall. Getting to meet everybody. Don't get to do that very much. It was 7. What was 7, Dario?
Oh, I guess the time of the auction.
Oh, the time of the auction was at 7.
Cal wants to know if they
Yeah.
fishing La Jolla.
That was jacked. Question: Are you fishing La Jolla this weekend? Cal, I'm not. I want to. I've been dying to go to La Jolla all weekend. My mom's coming down Saturday, so that'll be fun. She's coming down for my birthday, so we're gonna go. I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe I'll take her. Maybe I'll take my mom out to La Jolla. Throw her on the kayak, trial by fire, smash the waves. No, I might go out tomorrow night. So if anybody wants to go, let me know. I might do something. La Jolla sounds awesome. I think if you guys though that haven't been out there, just be prepared. I mean, it's a different ball game. You know, there's no little sheltered beaches to launch from. You know, like we're used to over at Liberty or Kellogg or whatever, or the boat ramps at Dana. Dude, you're launching from the surf, and you go straight into it. So, to put it straight, you know, when the waves break, time it, count the waves. When you don't see a wave coming, you know, and you got a big lull, like a lull in the waves, hop on and just paddle like hell, go straight at it, and you'll be okay. If you flip, not a big deal. Tie your stuff down. No, it happens to everybody, but once you're out there, it's cool. Just bring your heavier stuff. Don't waste your time with light rods. So travel light. I guess that's the moral of the story. Don't take anything you don't want to lose. So strap everything down. Take only the necessities. Don't bring all your gear, all your weights, all your finesse stuff. You're not going to need it. And then in the event that you do go over in the surf, you don't want to lose everything. So button it down, lock it up, put your rods inside, especially. And when you're coming back too, make sure your seat is leashed. Make sure your drive is leashed. Make sure all your rods are where they need to be, because when you're coming in is where a lot of people wipe out too. And a popular technique is when you're like halfway in, just jump off, waist high water, and then just walk your kayak in. So don't ride it all the way into the sand, because what happens is you start to you can't fight the wave. And when you start to turn, that's when you tumble. I mean, you're in trouble. So just ride it in. I don't think it'll be too bad. It's perfect conditions. That's why everybody's going. So I think it'll be really good conditions to get out there. But yeah, don't be afraid to bail off when you're coming in halfway through, and then just walk it in. You're going to be wet. You're going to get wet going out, but it should be warm enough. I think you guys will do good. I'd love to go out there and kill some calicos or some sheep's head for sure. Yellowtail is really what I want, but it's still early, and we got all summer. We'll get out there again. Are you going out, Cal? That is the question. Yeah, take your mom to La Jolla. I should. Mom, if you're still watching, let me know. We'll go rent you a kayak. Maybe I can tow you out there. Get you on some yellowtail. Get you bit. Dario, if you're interested, I can guard you where the fish. Yeah, Dario. Zach can tell you where the fish are not. He's really good at that. It's not true, Zach. I've seen you out there killing them. I don't think I have the right gear for La Jolla yet, Jesse. It's not a matter of gear. If you've got a 2,500 size reel or 4,000 reel, I think you'd be fine. You just don't need to take as much, I think is the thing. I think you'd be okay. Get something that can, worst case scenario, just fish for the rockfish and get some taco fish. Just get like a 4,000 size reel, throw an 8-ounce weight on it with a dropper loop, and yeah, go get some whitefish or a lot of those rockfish. If you're not looking to fight the big yellowtail. Yeah, it looks like Salty's going out. Yeah, Dario's going out. I know he's excited. Dude, that's awesome. I know we've been talking about it right forever. Me and Dario, but always trying to get out there. I'm glad you guys are going out though. You can watch from the shore and laugh at us fumbling around. Yeah, take video if you guys do the death roll. I haven't gone over, but my time's coming. Everybody does. I think it's one of those things. If you fish La Jolla long enough, you're going to go down. But that's why if it's tied up, it's not a big deal. If your stuff is leashed, who cares? then you're prepared for it. You just don't want to have a yard sale. Don't lose all your stuff out there. Assume you're going to roll once going out. That way you'll be okay when you don't, and then all your stuff is intact. Yeah, Dario's rigging his stuff right now. That's awesome, guys. I mean, I'm happy for you guys getting out there this Saturday. That'll be cool.
You can skip your mom's. Just let her celebrate with me for your birthday, and there you go.
Yeah, maybe I'll just set up my mom for like a shopping trip or something and go out and meet you guys. Just kidding, Mom. We're going to go out. We're going to have a good time. Take you down to Old Town. We'll go check out the minerals. We'll go get the rocks. I know you like that stuff. That'll be awesome. I'm excited to see you. If there's any topics you guys want for next time, I mean, it's 8 o'clock, so I'll wrap it up. I don't want to bore you guys too much with my stories. Hopefully you learned something. Like I said, I'm not a master. There's a lot of people in this chat, better fishermen than I am. Thanks for coming out and checking it out, though. Awesome doing the show. Like I said, I got some with these small reels and these little jigs, and I think I'll put that in my next video. See, Mom would love to go to Old Town. You got it, Mom. Done. Say no more. Old Town it is. Yeah, if you guys have any topics, let me know. We always got stuff to talk about. I mean, you can just talk about fishing forever. It's 8 o'clock. Awesome that you guys come out and join me. Thanks for the support. If you guys know anybody, let them know the show's on. And again, go to Fishy Hour. Check them out. Roman's the OG. You know, he's the reason why this show pretty much exists, because he was doing what he was doing. And give him the support too. So if you watch this show and haven't seen Fishy Hour, go subscribe to Fishy Hour. I know he's trying to get his stuff up too, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, it's been good. So all you guys, Dario, Dave, Salty, Leonard, Cal, Chad, thanks for coming out, man. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Eric, thanks for joining us. Who else we got in here? Dave Rage, Saltwater Slayer, Captain Dan, good seeing you again. Also, 10 out of 10 on the pizza shirt. Mark G, thanks for joining. Eric, I don't know if I got you. Eric, thanks for the support, man. I mean, you've been awesome. You've been sharing the show. You've been doing everything. Stingray, thanks. Nice meeting you. Cool meeting you Saturday, too. I mean, that was awesome. Cass Queen, thanks for stopping in. Cool meeting you that one Saturday, even though we didn't know who each other was. Jesse, congratulations on the kayak. Awesome, dude. I can't wait to see you out there on that. Learn it. Leonard, good seeing you out there Saturday fishing, even though we suffered together. Yeah, it's awesome doing the show, guys. Thanks for stopping in. And like I said, we'll do it next Thursday. Cal, happy birthday. Happy Father's Day to you guys, too. I know Father's Day is coming up, so lots of dads out here. You know, you guys have to sacrifice from the kids and go fishing. I know it's hard. You know, you really get out there and you're out there fishing, and while the kids are at home, it's tough. But in all seriousness, guys, all the dads out there, I mean, happy Father's Day, everybody's birthday that's coming up. You know, it's been awesome. If you guys want more shows, you know, let me know. I'm just doing the one day for now. Like I said, with Roman picking up the other two, he's back to Monday and Wednesday again, and then I'll do Thursday. If you guys want like a Tuesday or something, I might be able to do it if we got enough topics to talk about. You know, you want it to be too much either, where everybody's it becomes the same thing and it's overload. So we want to keep it fresh and new. Adobo, yeah, Captain Adobo was in here. Thank you so much for stopping in. You're always awesome, Captain Adobo. One of the few people that knew about that slow pitch, I think, before anybody. Yeah, it was awesome, guys. Sound Fishing, you're in here too. I don't want to miss anybody, but if I did, I'm sorry. Thank you for all the support. Kill it out there in La Jolla. I'll be out there offshore Monday, so hopefully I should get some tuna this time. And Salty, going to go out there and show you guys how it's done in La Jolla. Just follow him. And there's a lot of experienced guys out there, so they'll take care of you. Just listen to them. It'll be good. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.